Hello, everyone, and welcome to Soul Survivors. Thank you for joining us for an evening of Dungeons and Dragons. I'm Sean, he, him, and I will be your Dungeon Master tonight. Soul Survivors is a continuation of events started in Seeds of Defiance. Following the death of Father Rex Alathai, several of his closest companions have gathered together to look into the mysterious circumstances in which he perished. Can the party get to the bottom of this plot and save Neverwinter? Let's find out together, after we have met the players and heard from our sponsors and supporters.
Hi everyone, my name's Talia and I am playing Zinmoira Lithram, the Dampier Grave Cleric of Kalemvor. After battling the undead in Dorano's Echo, they've come back to Neverwinter feeling more secure in their faith, but feeling the ramifications of that in their personhood. They're back in the city to go and take charge with their rightful position as the head of the Kalemvor Church in Neverwinter, but there are shenanigans happening again. Did not consent to this. No more shenanigans.
Hello, my name is Tom. I use he, him pronouns, as does... Hello there, Giacomo here, head of the circus and... I'm kidding. Nah, it's just normal Giacomo. I'm a reborn, you see, bit of a rogue. I was murdered, came back from the dead. Now I'm head of the circus and I'm here to solve some mysteries, save the world. Proper hero stuff, you know.
Hi, I'm Evie. I use she, her pronouns, and I am playing Arcana, who also uses she, her pronouns. Arcana is a half-elf artificer artillerist from beyond the stars. After sealing away a vast apocalyptic being on her own planet at Death's Door, available on YouTube, she has made a home in Neverwinter. How will she cope living in a non-post-apocalyptic deathscape? Will she learn to trust her friends? I can't wait to find out.
Hello, my name is Josh. I use he, him pronouns, and I shall be playing Jakarth Silrian, who also uses he, him pronouns. Jakarth has been on a bit of an adventure of late. He has been to other planes of existence, absorbed souls, then deposited said souls in the afterworld, or afterlife, sorry, and Valhalla to be specific, and is now back in Neverwinter to deal with whatever's going on here. Hopefully, nothing bad. Check out our sponsor, Phoenix Dice, for carefully crafted click-clack math rocks for use in your favourite TTRPGs. Phoenix Dice work with recycled goods, meaning their products and packaging are all made from sustainable materials. You can go to phoenixdice.com to check out their entire selection, including some limited roll-together dice. And if you use the code ROLLTOGETHER, all caps, at checkout, you'll get 25% off your next purchase.
Big love to our D20 Club on Patreon. They're great. You're wonderful. We love you so much. And they help us keep the kobolds in line, which is very important. They get up to all sorts of cheeky jam-related activities. Anyway, the D20 Club, they've created a fan Discord where you can come and chat about all things Roll Together. And they've created a wiki page to help you keep track of all of our stories, which you can find at rolltogether.fandom.com. You can join and be as cool as they are from as little as one of your local currencies per month by following the link in chat or in the description below.
We are delighted to be supported by Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, a Dungeons & Dragons strategy video game that brings together D&D characters from novels, adventures, and multiple live streams into a single grand adventure. You can select your heroes and formation, then battle through waves of monsters for free on PC, phone, PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch. And if you put !code into chat, you'll get yourself a free Electrum chest.
We are happy to be supported by Homie and the Dude. Homie and the Dude are a father and son duo, a group company that make various different TTRPG supplement books, which includes The Wandering Tavern, and coming soon to Kickstarter, they have a new Dune/Mad Max inspired book called Scorched Basin. You can go check out all of their stuff following the links in chat or in the description below. And if you use the code ROLLTOGETHER at checkout, you can get 10% off of your purchase.
You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, and TikTok by searching Roll Together RPG or by following the links in chat or in the description below. If you can't join us live and want to see our previous adventures, you can catch up straight after on YouTube or on your favourite podcasting app by searching for Roll Together RPG.
Finally, we run queer-friendly tables and encourage and support trans and GNC players and characters in our games. Our players and DM may portray characters that are of a different gender to their own. We aim to avoid misgendering, but acknowledge that it does happen. We welcome corrections and have a company policy in place for correcting people on pronouns. Check out Safety in Chat for content warnings and some of the safety tools that we use through the TTRPG Safety Toolkit.
And with all that, let's begin. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Soul Survivors, Episode 2. Last time, our intrepid quartet set out to try and find out what had happened to Father Rex Alexei and Hera, their Giacomo and Jakarth's colleagues from campaign a while ago. You've probably already watched it on replay on a Tuesday. You managed to find some information which led to the middle of Neverwinter Woods, where you managed to surpass what you presume to be the Hera or the Grave Mother's cordon around the Dread Ring. And while there, you also met Slippery Jack, the Myconid ranger guardian of the local woods. You did a bit of investigation. You saw the devastation of the Dread Ring. Watch Seeds of Defiance when that comes up again to find out what happened there. Just going to be plugging all of my old stuff here.
I was thinking this is just an intro with citations.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I've got to make sure that my bibliography is up to date. Yes, you saw the devastation, saw the creatures there, and decided that you would need to head back to Neverwinter to find out quite what was going on there. You had previously linked up with a Harper colleague to set up a meet with some Thayan wizards who appear to have arrived in Neverwinter. And so you headed to the Beached Leviathan, a pub on the docks of Neverwinter. Two of you decided to check out the boat itself. So Giacomo and Arcana are currently rowing, possibly illicitly, as far as the rental goblin knows. You are in the middle of some sort of affair. I mean, Giacomo is a married man, so...
I was also disguised as his father-in-law, because they're just like, hello, that circus owner's up to no good.
So yes, you are rowing towards the rather obviously Thayan boat, being as it has a massive skull as its figurehead. Meanwhile, Zinmoira and Jakarth, you are heading to the to do diplomacy with the Thayans, and you have just arrived on the top deck of the Beached Leviathan pub, where you see the three bald red wizards sat around a table with a couple of extra chairs and their bodyguards behind them. I think we're going to go to our pair rowing first. So, you are, as aforementioned, just paddling your way down the Neverwinter River towards this large, very long black boat.
Question: how strong is Giacomo?
I mean, if I had put it numerically, I'd probably put it as a 10.
You're stronger than me. Excellent.
Oh, patriarchy. I think because you started rowing, and I think Giacomo's like, oh, we're going, and then has now taken over and is rowing the boat.
I mean, there's enough between the two of you.
Yeah.
That is an interesting question, actually. Do either of you actually have, you know what I'm going to ask, water vehicles proficiency?
Whoever has water vehicles proficiency?
I frequently take it. Thank you very much.
Oh.
Just in case you end up going on a pedalo or something.
This is like my rule with always taking Minotaur as a language. You always take water vehicles just in case.
Yeah,
just-
one of these days.
I just looked at my proficiencies. It says vehicles, but then it says land next to it. So I was like, no.
I can play the lute.
I'm good with most kind of tools.
I also have a thing which is like knowledge from a past life. So we'll see how this goes. And then I might be like, hey, Giacomo, no idea. Alan, on the other hand, used to go on big expeditions to go up the river to go find interesting animals. So we'll see. We'll see what you make us do, Sean.
Okay. I'm going to say I'd like you each to roll rather than one of you giving advantage. And it will be survival to see. I mean, we've all done it. We've all done the thing where you're like, oh yeah, no, I can definitely use a boat. I understand the basis of this. No, I'm just going in circles. Did that in Oxford. We went punting. Yeah, it's just pushing a thing. God, it's hard.
I've done it with swan boats, which are supposed to be easy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. You get very tired and then you're just stuck in the middle and you're just like... Last time I went on a swan boat is when they did the national alarm. So we were out on a boat and then the phone started going off and we were like, oh, we didn't do that badly, did we?
Motorboat, and they made it too easy, and then I couldn't use it because I'm used to actually sailing on actual boats, which I'm good at. So they made the motorboat at a too easy setting, which then became impossible for me to use. It wasn't responsive enough.
Mm-hmm.
I love how we were like, okay, we struggle. And then Talia's like, yes, I, as a professional sailor. It's like, you're making it too easy. More speed, more knots. So Giacomo rolled a 2. And if I was using my past life, I could add a d6 to that. So, I mean, it would be at best an 8. So, how did
19.
you do?
You
Oh,
rolled a
well,
19.
Yeah.
Okay.
Somehow.
So I think Giacomo's probably doing the row, but Arcana, you are the one navigating, and I don't know how you've come across this proficiency. Perhaps, how did you arrive on Corazon?
Through
Did
a
you always
portal?
live there? Or, sorry,
Through a portal?
probably portal. Okay. I was going to say spell jamming, possibly very close to rowboat.
How did I arrive? You put me here, Sean.
I wasn't sure if it was part of the backstory that you'd already come up with. So,
Yeah,
I mean, maybe it was, largely portal, but you had to arrive to like an orbital thing first via spaceship, which,
Yeah, you can row a spaceship.
is like the overcomplicated version of a rowboat.
There's parallels, as we can see through my amazing survival roll.
There we go.
Instead of going in circles in space, you end up going in circles upside down, sort of going all around like a gyroscope.
Only 2 dimensions to a water boat instead of all of the dimensions.
Yeah.
This is what we're saying. Like Talia, this is too simple because you're not able to go off on like a vertical axis.
Less complicated than space travel. Fact. Cool. So, with your 19, you managed to navigate your way. It's quite, as I kind of previously said, it's quite a foggy evening. So, you can kind of see where the ship is, and this huge, long, fairly narrow ship. This is where why you should write things down when you're DMing. I'm pretty certain I said there was something like 7 masts down it, but correct me, chat, because I don't remember.
But before we started recording today, I said that I did not remember anything that happened at the end of the stream. I do remember the 7 masts.
Yes.
Hey.
Awesome. Sometimes you just make the same decision twice. That's all it is. It's not memory. So yes, you see this ship, 7 masts down its middle. I'm apparently not in a nautical mood today. And it kind of, as you get closer to it, it almost materializes out of the fog. But with your 19, you can slowly and silently come up alongside it. Do you have anything with which to get onto the ship?
Part of me always just assumes that ships will have random ropes hanging down in case someone falls overboard, but that's probably not quite true. I can get Giacomo up, but I don't know if I can get myself up.
I mean, if you can get Giacomo up, I always assume people have rope.
I mean,
True.
how high up is the deck?
Interesting. It's probably about 30, maybe 40 foot up.
Right, because Giacomo looks at Arcana with no sarcasm. Like, well, I can produce a 20-foot ladder, but that's probably you're gonna have to do a bit of clambering.
Right,
So,
well, I
sorry,
can...
you climb the 20 foot and then you move the ladder and you move it back up.
You pivot it round. It's Looney Tunes rules, yeah.
Okay, right. That might... Wait, so where would we perch?
Well,
Okay.
we put the ladder in the boat and look.
Listen, I
Yeah.
can teleport you up. That's not a problem. And then you just put a rope down for me and I'll climb up from there.
I mean, yeah, sounds like a plan.
Okay, I cock my gun at you.
Well, always knew it was going to end like this.
No regrets. Pulls the trigger, you get sucked into the barrel.
Whee!
It goes round and round and I fire you up to the deck. This was Vortex Warp.
Now that's thinking with portals.
Okay. Tom, can I have a stealth roll as you emerge from this portal?
Yes, you may. As a little treat, that is that's a 15.
15. Yes, nice and stealthy. As you appear up on this deck, you can see that there's not really anybody around. You do know, Thanes tend to crew, make use of undead in all of their kind of life situations. So probably a lot of the tasks on this ship are undertaken by someone who had previously seen an undertaker. And yeah, in other words, the deck is dead.
I love to think, Sean, that you're just not and I turn around, there's just a zombie. You're like, I never lied. I told you. The deck was dead. You're just like, hey. I'm imagining it like Monkey Island, where it's like, yeah, it's just a crew of skeletons. We're going to hell. I think, yes, having taken in the deck, I quietly, as I can, get out the rope and start lowering it down to our little coracle.
Can I also secure this boat to the side of this boat as well, so it doesn't just kind of bob away?
How would you like to do this?
I'm going to be quite honest here. I don't know the first thing about boats and the ocean and physics, but Arcana's smart.
Hold on, I'm making a mental call. Hi, Talia. Hi. Hey, how are you doing? Just a quick hypothetical above the table question. How should we secure this boat?
Just take some rope and then just kind of do a hitch knot to it. The same thing that would kind of secure it to the port where you are.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, hitch knot.
Okay,
Thank you, in character, Talia, who I was on a previous adventure with. Yeah. Do I hitch knot? You know knots, Arcana.
I know knots.
Yeah.
Probably by another name, but I know knots.
And not by any other name would smell as knotty. Anyway.
I'm afraid not. Hey, boo card for me! Boo card for me! Anyway, having done that and the boat just floats away, you're like, oh no, the late boo card. Podcast listeners, I am being picked on. Oh, big boo card. Talia, no. Yes.
Yeah, you can absolutely. You would know how to do this, and your previous 19 will carry. So, yes, you can secure the boat alongside the other boat. I mean, they're both moored, so yeah, it would only be kind of an errant tide. That is probably the limit of my nautical knowledge. And yes, you can lower the rope down. Yeah. I'm not going to make you roll anything to climb it because, it's not, you're not under any time pressure. So you can kind of take your time. Giacomo's helping you, and as fun as it would be to dip you in the water, we've got other things to do. So you're both on the deck. It is deserted, as aforementioned, and very long. Although there are several points kind of down the length of this ship where it looks like you can go down into the ship itself. You don't have to be at either end.
Stick together or split up?
Good question. Maybe stick together, I think, at this point. Can you see in the dark?
Do I have dark vision? I have dark vision.
Yeah, maybe we need to stick together then.
Do you not have dark vision?
Arcana, I'm just a guy. I know you don't know this, but I used to be like an animal trainer. It's not my fault. I'm a ghostly guy now.
I don't know if you know this, but most people have dark vision. In this world that I've encountered, most people have dark vision.
You've probably met a lot of elves. I mean, I'm just gestured to his curved, and I'm just a guy. I'm ginger and hated by the god of death for multiple reasons. Just a guy. Anyway, yeah, let's stick together and then.
Okay, let's do a sneaky. Look in some windows, then maybe go a bit below deck if somewhere sounds quiet.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay. So do you want to stay on the deck? Do you want to go below deck at your first opportunity?
Well, are there any windows that we can see on deck along the vast ship?
So most of the portholes, nautical knowledge, would have been along the actual, this is where my nautical knowledge runs out, hull of the ship. Not so much on the kind of cabins. Actually, no, you know what? Scratch that. There are some windows along some of these cabins. It tends to be kind of stairs going down, like a trapdoor with stairs going down, alongside each of these kind of cabins, and the cabins seem to be largely built with one wall up against or even between a couple of the masts, potentially for kind of structural stability and ship building stuff.
I guess we pick one. We listen real hard for noises down below.
Right. I think Zemora wouldn't be happy if we started an international incident, so first sign of trouble we bail out, or you feeling combative?
I think first sign we make a run for it.
Sounds like a plan.
Wait, maybe we should have worn masks.
I mean, Giacomo's not wearing the hat at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I think this is the thing, to the extent he even sort of get a dagger out, cuts bits of the scarf off. So now we're both, once again, me and Evie are wearing bandit masks in a roll together game. The plague. Yeah, so now we're just a zombie just wearing a mask. You can never prove it.
Put my goggles down over the top. Yeah, I think this works as a disguise. Okay, stealth, leg it at the sign of the trouble.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Right. So, peering into these cabins, could I have perception rolls from you both? I'm not going to impose disadvantage or anything because I'm assuming you would peer into ones which are lit.
I also have advantage on perception check using your eyes, thanks to my little shadow buddies.
Oh.
So that's...
I got an 11.
I got a 27.
Blimey.
It's the reason she's the captain.
Okay. So you peer into this cabin, and it appears to be some sort of probably navigation room. There's a large atlas showing the world of Toril. It's where we are. And a large table in the middle that has spread out and kind of weighed down at the corners with mostly just kind of tankards, like a pile of books, that sort of thing. But spread out a large map, which with your massive 27, you can tell immediately is a map of the Sword Coast. I think probably because it very much matches, even down to the tankards holding the corners down, the map that Arcana herself was using upon her first arrival in Neverwinter.
Maybe we should approach and see if they've written down other locations of interest, what their route's been.
I think that's a smart idea, yeah.
Sneak up, isn't it?
As you approach the door, we're going to move over to the other two. So, you've arrived onto the deck of the Beached Leviathan, the converted pirate ship tavern on the dock ward of Neverwinter. I said the dock ward. That's Waterdeep terminology. It's in the docks. And sat at a fairly central table are three bald-headed, presumably wizards, given the very ornate robes they're wearing, and very obviously red in hue. So not particularly subtle about it either. One of the three looks to be significantly younger than the other two. One of them has very pale, like beyond kind of Caucasian pale skin, and the other one is a bit more fair-skinned, tanned even. The younger one is somewhere in between. Stood behind them are three armed, presumably warriors, presumably bodyguards. They mostly are wearing black, with kind of overlapping plate and like shoulder pads, pauldrons, that sort of thing. They have large masks covering their mouth and nose, and you can see on their heads some ornate, very kind of spiky, gothic-looking tattoos. Would you like to approach them? They appear to just be sat eating a meal. The wizards, not the bodyguards.
Yeah. I'm gonna take your lead on this, Moira. I don't want to overstep or anything. Show your authority as the head of the church, sort of thing.
Well, I assume that I've also come with a very small entourage. This is, as far as I'm concerned, an official diplomatic meeting for this. And I'm just prepared to have a conversation. Could I insight check them? I would like to deal with this as politely as Moira can, but I am prepared to engage with, if they look like they're going to engage, argue, or combat, I want to be prepared for that. So okay. I just want to get a vibe from them.
Roll me your insight.
Cool. 27.
27, nice. They appear to be in high spirits. Their mood seems jovial. The two older wizards are having a conversation. The younger one seems to be more silently just eating their meal. They they aren't portraying any signs that they might be here for an argument, here to, goad or cajole you in any way. They seem to be here for an honest and frank conversation.
Fantastic. I am going to mean girl stare at them. Like the popular girl in high school who you kind of like, but she intimidates you and you just puts you on edge a bit. Okay. That's the stare.
Are you angling for an intimidation roll?
I don't know what to call it. Is that kind of like a behave?
Okay.
We're here to behave, and I am better than you because honestly, I am.
I will let you choose between persuasion, intimidation. Probably not. You, if you can give me an argument for it, performance.
They are all the same roll for me, so I'll go with the persuasion. I'm not here to scare them yet. I'm here to let them know that I could if this doesn't carry on being pleasant.
You want to, you've kind of gauged their intentions. You want to imply yours as frankly as possible, I guess.
16.
16. Okay. They get that thing where you feel like someone's watching you, and so they do pick up just preternaturally on the stair and see you there. The two older wizards kind of straighten up a bit. The conversation stops, and they invite you to. They'd actually laid out 4 chairs, but given that there are only the 2 of you, they gesture to whichever 2 you wish.
As I would like to repeat, in my head, I do have an imaginary entourage. That's all.
Oh, did you bring some Kalimvarite priests as well?
Just a couple. Again, if someone to do record keeping and someone in armor who looks threatening.
Well, that's easy enough then. You know that your contact would have probably said, "Oh yes, there's four people." So you preempted this and brought the 2 extra, one muscle and one pen and 1 sword, shall we say? Cool. As you sit down, the paler looking of the 2 wizards speaks. Please do join us. Thank you for seeking this meet.
Thank you for agreeing to meet with me.
It feels prudent to address the elephant in the room initially. I appreciate that ideologically, priests of Kalimvar and red wizards do not historically get along. However, we felt that if we were to be taken seriously, it would be better that perhaps we had you to also help us to convey this message.
Well, you're going to need to do an awful lot of convincing. This town has gone through, the city has gone through some hard times recently. And with your, despite your, whatever your intentions may be, with your reputation of a certain lack of care, you're going to need to work hard to go and prove me you are here on good business before I do gather my people and rout you out of the city.
There it is. I appreciate your candor, and I hope that with what I am hoping to tell you, you will come to appreciate what we are here to do.
I'm in good faith, and I have not acted yet. I am here to listen and to see what you have to say.
I appreciate that. But where are my manners? I have yet to introduce myself. I'm Ibdrus Orinja. Gestures over to the more tanned-skinned red wizard, and I'm Gilry Pain Thief. And this is our son, Tofathenti Orinja Pain Thief.
Person one, child.
All allegrams, I take it.
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
And you are?
Zinmoira Lithram, I am head of the Church of Kelemvor here. My companion in arms, Jakath, and they have names, Peon 1 and Peon 2.
They will certainly have names once I've had a break.
I've let the scribe that's with us sit down with Moira, and I'm stood being the muscle with the other one, with the armoured one.
Okay, so you haven't all sat down, you've mirrored the bodyguards.
Mirrored them, yeah.
Okay. Sorry, very taxing voice. Now, one thing that I wish to address straight off. We are not supporters of the usurper Zastam.
Interesting.
While I appreciate that we do have certain cultural differences in terms of our treatment of our ancestors and those who have passed on. However, we are supporters of the old Zoltyr, the rulers of Fae before Zaz enacted his scheme to take control of the country. It has to be said that it has not been easy being outcasts from one's own country, and also reviled most places that we go.
It is hard for people. I've had some recent interactions with those who also fall outside of the norm. Some very personal. And I do believe that in the eyes of Kelemvor that fate may twist in a way that might be non-traditional, but if you are doing your best in order to serve your community, certain grace might be allowed in order to serve that fate. It seems the same is happening to you.
Indeed. Fate makes strange bedfellows of us all, it would seem. So, we have come here today to beseech to Lord Neverember that, well, Neverwinter itself and potentially large part of the rest of the Sword Coast is in danger. Our sources, our spies within Thay, indicate that Zastam is mobilizing, is moving. We wish to make sure that people of this nation are prepared. However,
insight check. Is he telling the full truth? Is he telling the truth but hiding something? Is he straight up lying? Is he trying to... Is he telling the truth but hidden reasons about what he might try and get out of this?
Okay. As you're kind of shifting the focus of your insight check, I will ask you for another roll. But
I'd like to try and get a read on him as well, if that's okay.
Of course.
And the other two, if possible.
The partner and the son.
Yes.
Sorry, child. What was everyone's rolls?
22.
22.
I got the little dice head man, so it was natural 20 for a 27.
Nice. Okay. 22. This appears to be true. Ibdris does seem concerned. Maybe not directly for, the Sword Coast, but certainly if Zaztam is mobilizing, then that would mean that he is aiming for another push to try and expand his power. And that would, that is distasteful to him. So if not the concern of a person of this nation, then of certainly someone whose enemies are the same and therefore cause is the same. With a natural 20, you get the same. You can tell that they're telling the truth, that their intentions seem to be as they have addressed them. You also get that Gilry, the partner, seems to be deeply concerned. You also get the impression from Gilry that maybe they were converted to be a red wizard rather than born as one. So their concern seems to be potentially that of a national of the area rather than merely someone who lives here and doesn't want to become undead. The child, I say child, probably kind of 16, 17, pushing that sort of older end of the scale. But, for wizards, very young. They are still just kind of digging into their food, possibly not understanding the full gravity, like knows that something's going on, but doesn't necessarily know all of the history. With an actual 20, though, I will additionally give you that the bodyguards, one of the bodyguards, even though you can't see kind of the bottom part of their face, there is a kind of twitch in the eye.
Anything in particular or just in general?
The twitch was at mention of Zaztam.
Can we see the guards' faces? Or is it just
masks
the
there?
masks?
Imagine kind of Scorpion from Mortal Kombat, kind of just face covering.
Do with the little eye twitch, does it look like they're like furrowing their brow, or are they still keeping them sort of like a deadpan face and it's just that little flicker?
More the second. So kind of very expressionless, very emotionless, but then there's just this little kind of flicker of the eye when Zaz is mentioned.
So I won't say anything at the moment. I won't interrupt what Moira is saying.
Right.
And I trust you to give me the cues if you notice anything. So as you were saying?
We've entreated to talk to the Lord of Neverwinter, but we worry that our reputations precede us. We seem to have been thwarted, which is why when the Church of Kalemvor reached out, we thought that this perhaps was an opportunity to show that our intentions are genuine. Our concern is genuine.
What evidence do you have for these happenings?
Clicks his fingers, and one of the guards steps forward, and you get a kind of better look at the kind of tattoos on the head, and you can see a kind of just sticking out from the mask, the indication of a tattoo on the cheek as well. Actually, can you give me a history check? Both of you, if you wish.
Oh, bloody hell.
Have I accidentally given you advantage on this, Josh?
No. It's just the fact that I have a +0.
Okay, I can read numbers. 13. It's not huge.
Okay. Roll 13.
I got a 19.
Ooh.
This dice is loving me today.
Yeah. Although
It's 13.
progressively getting
I'd like
worse.
to add the caveat that also I am old.
That is true. Old. It's the difficulty of being there, being around to experience these things, but then also like sometimes these things just don't come to the forefront of your mind, and you're just sat there like, I know something about this. I think the 13 is probably indicative of, as in Moira is just a little bit too focused on not starting off a war. Although, if what they're saying is true, they're not linked with Fae anyway, so you got that on your side. But yeah, you've got your. Sorry.
I want to punch someone.
With a 19 though, Jakarth. And I think potentially this is some of your Echo Soul bleeding through here. You do have a bit of knowledge about Red Wizards and their bodyguards. Their bodyguards are known as Knights of Fae. And typically they are quite often devotees of a god called Kosuth, who is a fire entity. They are usually very, very zealous, very pious, very committed to the protection of the Red Wizard Order as a whole. And so the tattoos that they get on their scalps are actually tattoos of devotion, which mean that they can't hurt a Red Wizard except under extreme duress, and they can't. They're very susceptible to spells cast by Red Wizards. The tattoo on the face links them more personally to a specific Red Wizard. So it's like a pledge of allegiance directly to a family or an individual. And yeah, it kind of extends even more that pledge, that kind of. I never know how to pronounce this word. I'm going to pronounce it Gaius. Trouble of, yes, the trouble of reading more than you listen. This kind of spell that like enforces this servitude, I guess. You're not sure quite where this knowledge came from. I don't know how interested Jakarth was in particularly Thayan wizards. It feels like maybe your alternate self and his research with a certain mad wizard might have bled through here.
Yeah, I think unless this universe's version of Durok had anything to do with them, while he was doing the experience that he was doing on Jakarth, I don't think he'd have a clue. Yeah, I think it would all come from that sort of meld into the memory sort of thing. So
This,
there is a little thing in the back of his mind where he's going, Knights of Thay sounds really cool, and then it just goes really quickly.
Yeah, I think it's probably definitely the alternate version, because this world's version was more interested in planar travel, transmutation, kind of that sort of side of things, less interested in undead. You know, didn't want to bring his partner back as a lich or equivalent. Was very much focused on, no, I need it back in proper form and as himself.
Speaking of lich, Josh has an image in his mind of how Wizards of Thay look. Do these ones look like they are like gaunt, lich-like sort of appearances, or are they like a lot fuller in the face? More alive looking?
Okay. Lore time. So typically, like, though Thayans from the current Zaztam ruled Thay, their preferred state is undead. So living Thayans are treated as second-class citizens, you know, not as useful as a zombie. So a lot of Thayans undergo a process to become undead. These ones look alive. These ones are definitely... I mean, the Thayan-born Red Wizard is still has the kind of very, very pale skin of a Thayan, but yeah, is not gaunt. Like, isn't plump by any means, but is not that kind of sallow featured and sunken eyes, like all of the kind of thing, telltale signs that might indicate being undead. No, absent. Seem to be alive.
And would you say that the tattoos on their heads would be sort of like a representation of tradition / religious beliefs?
So the tattoos on the heads are the bodyguards rather than the Red Wizards. Were you talking about the bodyguards?
Yeah, bodyguards. Yeah, just trying to see if it's like a. Jakarth's trying to understand if it's like this is two different religious, the Kelemvrites and the Thayans, two different religious beliefs coming together and trying to form an understanding is what he's trying to come up with at the minute.
So, riding on your 19 still, the Red Wizards themselves believed in gods. Like, it's not like they weren't atheists by any extent. Tended to worship, if they did at all, gods that would be seen on the more kind of evil-leaning side of things. But most Red Wizards, they simply worshipped magic more than gods. So it's not so much that they don't believe in religion, it's just that it's just a very minor part of themselves. The Knights of Thay, however, they were kind of brought in as allies to protect the Red Wizards, and like I said, worshipped Kosuth, fire deity. So yeah, it's kind of like trying to compare someone who's Kelemvrites, very, very zealous about their religion and this one god, and agnostic, kind of, yes, you're probably right, but I don't want to engage in this conversation because it bores me. Let's talk about magic. Card trick.
Just gonna.
Your pause, Tom. Nope.
I was just going, the weave. Let's talk about magic. I'm just bullying Talia. Let's carry on.
He's not talking shit about my husband.
Sure.
Spoilers. Anyway, I'm just going to take like a small step forward, not in an intimidating way or anything, but in a I'm going to speak way, and just going to look to the paler of the two. Is there anything in particular or is there a particular request that you have of us? I'm sure that there are requests that we have or information that we could do with from you, but is there anything in particular that you're looking for in order to help establish this or debunk the feelings that there are towards red wizards, as you've said previously?
Primarily, we need to get an audience with Neverwinter. And we felt that were we all to petition for a joint audience, then we might stand a better chance. You had previously asked if what our evidence was. It has mostly come from our network. We don't have. Unfortunately, we didn't have access to any artificial means in which to record any evidence as such, but this has been passed to my bodyguard, Gabanthetisk, and he has vouched for the authenticity of this. I think I'm going to take this point to go back to the two on the boat. So you were approaching the door of the cabin with the navigational kind of objet.
Should probably
within.
check the traps.
All right. I mean, yeah.
Go ahead. Is there a roguey skill specifically linked to this, or is it just a?
I don't know.
Roll me dex with any skill that's you're proficient in.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a roguey thing, and it's dexy. So.
I would say some sleight of hand. So, you know, Giacomo out of the coat is pulling pieces of wire, and let's have a look what we got. 19.
19. Nice. A lot of 19s going around today. The door does not appear to be trapped. It does, however, appear to be locked.
Then I shall swap over to a different piece of wire.
Giacomo, would you get while we're stealthing around?
Yeah.
Do you want a friendly competition of who can pick the most locks?
I mean, I do love a friendly competition. Okay.
Okay.
Sort of side-eyeing you, are you going to steal this lock from me? Because I know you could put me in your gun. Yeah.
Undead first.
I was about to say age before beauty. It's not that. Also, Jacques very beautiful. I'm going to try and pick this lock.
Please do. I'm going to ask you then to re-roll that sleight of hand.
Fair dinkum. It is. It's a 10 now.
A 10.
Yeah. I mean, I could. I'm gonna add my d6 as a voice in the back of Giacomo's head's like, hey, it's now 14. It's just
okay.
A little bit almost shifting of the hand from thank you, thanks Alan. Don't know why you knew how to pick locks. You're like, sometimes you need to get animals out of cages. I'm like, right, okay, got it.
Yes. So 14 is enough. That's fine. So you managed to open this room.
It's sloppy, but good work.
I'll take it.
So you can come into this room. You can see that there are candles burning around, set away from the map. They don't want to have any kind of sudden, upsetting of the table and burning up of things. So, what would you like to look at?
I mean, we're going for the map, right?
Yeah, we're going for the map. Maybe have a little looky-loo in some of the drawers, but I think map first. See if there's marked of a route or any areas of interest.
Yeah.
So, as you tiptoe into this map room, you peer down at the table, and you can see it's a very kind of nautical style map. You can see that there is a little flag pinned into Neverwinter, and you can see that there are a couple of four other flags forming an arc just around the sword, a section of the Sword Coast.
In anywhere in particular?
The ones on this map are all, apart from the one in Neverwinter, all in the sea. There's one just north of Waterdeep, and then three others kind of forming a semicircle from that point around to Neverwinter.
Do they seem to be sequential or marked with any particular colours?
They are not marked with any colours, and they do not. But the flags have differences. It's not like they've been moulded and printed out of the same, as we might understand it. They are all hand carved, but you can't see any kind of deliberate sequencing or identifying any of them as being superior to the others. They are all just little carved, like, imagine like a banner waving in the wind, but like carved out of wood, and then just in the middle of the map.
And they're just in the sea. They're not in like little islands. They're just.
I mean, at least looking at the map of the Sword Coast that I have, there don't appear to be any islands.
I take out a blank pane of glass from my bag and snap a shot from above. Tuck it away.
Yeah, I was going to suggest that, so I was like, yeah.
Is there any documentation lying around the room at all?
There doesn't appear to be anything lying around, but you do see that the desk that this map is on does have drawers that are locked.
Well, it's time for the competition to get
Again,
heated.
drawers either side, so as both of us go into the mini game of unlock the drawers. I will also now take some time to check for traps. Folks, it's the new version of I've got a long pole and just poking down the corridor every time. I'm like, let's look for traps.
Okay. So two separate sleight of hand checks from you if you're checking for traps.
I will
allow you. It's up to you. If you want to roll your own check for traps check, you can do that. Or if you want to borrow Giacomo's, you can do that.
I got a 15 and then I got a 29 for a nat 20 as Giacomo opens all drawers in the ship. Just burst open. Yeah.
Cool. Was that the check for traps?
15 for traps, 29 for Giacomo. Easily.
Okay. Once you have okayed it for traps, I will do my own sleight of hand, see how I do. Oh my god, I also got a nat 20 for a 29.
I mean, I was laughing at the you open all drawers on the ship, but that would be ridiculous. So no, I will say that with a natural 20, you do not only unlock the drawer, but both of you actually find the secret kind of slight turn counterclockwise before you fully unlock clockwise to actually separate out the secret drawer held underneath. The main drawer contained just bric-a-brac, like a spyglass, like one of those kind of miniature telescope kind of things.
Pocket that.
A navigator's set of, like a compass set, So okay, both types of compass. The one that you use to draw a circle, but with 2 pins because it's for maps, and also the always points north kind of compass, and like a paperclip. I was going to say a phone charger for a phone you no longer have.
They have a sending stone or something.
Yeah, a sending stone. That when you try to cast sending, you just hear the sound of bubbles from the other side.
Oh no! Tragedy.
Yeah, I'm just imagining someone just with a sending stone. Yeah, no, that was.
Oh no!
See, I was imagining it was the other half of the sending stone from Silver Surfer. No, Silver Siren. And this is where it was all along.
Surprise, folks! You try and work out how that happened.
Yeah, and
It's
just
all
kind of
connected.
some broken pencils and just random stationery. That's the main drawer. The secret compartment, which is significantly shallower, does have some documents. However, we're going to go back to the other two before we cover what's on those documents.
The edge of my seat.
Back on the other ship, the Beached Leviathan, so our red wizard friend Idris has clicked forward the bodyguard and told you that the information was supplied through a source that the bodyguard Cabanthatisk had interacted with and then come to see the trio. Yes, we prefer not to deal directly with any of our network, lest it give us or them away. But Cabanthatisk and also Fenium Broverset and Sheskan Garanzet often undertake tasks for us.
And do we trust 3 people with complicated names who I've definitely spelt correctly?
I'll pop them in the chat for you later. Is that Talia asking, or is that Zinmoira?
Both of us.
Yeah, roll me an insight.
That's a nat 20, baby, 430.
Wow.
Josh, are you rolling, or I'd offer Evie and Tom a roll as well, seeing as you're the only ones not drinking. But
Both of us, as we pull things out of the drawer, I don't trust the people with the complicated names. Why did you say that? I don't know.
I also rolled no, I didn't really. I rolled a 15 for a 22, sorry.
22, okay. Remind me your roll, Talia. Is it natural
30.
20, but
Natural
30.
20.
Cool. With your 22, you're still fairly fixated on these 3. There is something that you don't trust. You don't know why you don't. You just have that gut feeling. I think it's Jack brought the knowledge of, well, they can't hurt the Red Wizards. They would have to be, under an extreme pressure to do anything harmful to their masters, effectively. But something in Jakarth's gut is saying, don't trust these bodyguards. With a natural 20, Zinmoira, you see, just for a split second, the passive, emotionless eyes of this bodyguard flit to one of his colleagues. And because it was a natural 20, I will also say that you notice that part of the mask just over the cheek appears to be wet.
Water or blood?
Ooh.
or just wet?
Natural 20. Blood.
I'm gonna look at them, flick my eyes to Jakath, and then just say a code word that we have pre-organized for people aren't trusted, and flick it back to those guards in particular. Yeah, right, nice. And let's start doing actions.
What is the code word?
Bubbles.
Pineapple.
Sorry, that's the safe word. Sorry, just ignore me.
I like to think it is something as ambiguous as pineapple. You're like, so yeah, it's really a pineapple. Interesting that you're saying, you're like, we know you're saying something. That's not something you would normally just drop into conversation.
What language does Moira know?
I mean, Cohen, Elvish, of course, both of us, Dwarfish and Infernal.
We could say something. We could have come up with a code word in Dwarvish. I know Dwarvish as well.
So Bubbles then.
Yeah, just it's just like a grunt or something that's like Dwarvish for anything.
It sounds like. I am so very enthusiastic about this situation currently, and I'm going to stand up and just kind of lean myself very annoyingly in the way of everything.
I'm so enthusiastic about this.
This is my code phrase. I'm really happy right now.
That's great.
Would you say that outwardly this is an intimidating gesture, like the way you've done this?
You could argue the opposite, because it's Zen Moira being like, I'm very into this, which is the antithesis of, yeah.
Here's the thing. It's not whether or not it's an intimidating gesture in intent. It's whether or not it's an intimidating gesture in practice.
Fair. Okay. I tell you what. We'll do it on a scale. I will either let you, I mean, I know that your scores are the same, but you can argue it either as deception or persuasion. See whether you can convince them that it's you trying to not intimidate, I guess.
I would say my deception is very much better than everything else.
But I'm going, oh, okay, that's fine. But I'm going to subtract it from 30, and that will be your intimidation score.
Subtract it from 30, so...
Mm-hmm. So what did you roll?
Was it so the worse I roll, the more intimidating?
Yes, the more intimidated they'll be, the worse it is. You're rolling to not come across as intimidating as you may have done.
Yeah, okay. That's is it? I want to intimidate the guards I don't trust, but I don't want to intimidate new ally friends. So I'm really trying to hold this careful line right now.
Mm-hmm.
That is a 17.
Okay.
So I'm a 17 deceiving, as in, oh, I'm just in the feeling good about this, and I'm just getting enthusiastic about these negotiations, and I'm 13%. I am onto you, and I am mad.
Okay. So 13 on the intimidation. So I've got my own characters' names now. Idris is it looks more puzzled than anything. Like, did jump a bit at your sudden movement, but your words seem to have comforted him. So we can count on you to aid us in bringing our information to the Lord of the city.
I'm keeping a very intent eye on the two guards. Bodyguards.
How obvious would you say your staring down of the guards is?
I'd say that I'm not focused on looking at the wizards now. I am just looking at them and just looking between the two of them.
Okay. Idris has clocked this and kind of his eyes flit to the bodyguard and back to you, and you need not to be worried. Cabantha Disc here has taken a vow of loyalty, sweared allegiance to myself and my kin, so will not be harming any of us. Not so long as the tattoo remains on his cheek.
I know you have your own ways of doing things, but should we not all swear to guarantee each other's safeties as our primary objective in order to go and to get this message through under a zone of truth?
Of course, we have nothing to hide.
All members present.
I don't see why this would change anything. Our bodyguards are sworn to serve in our best interests, including in a informational and security manner.
Fantastic.
Me and Talia are thinking the exact same thing, but we're like, shit, we need to keep this going.
I'm also thinking about that bit in Hamlet where the ghost just keeps going, swear! And they're like, do it, swear. Just like...
I'm also thinking about the definition of someone's best interests.
At Idris saying that, I'm going to go to look at them. But in the process, I'm looking to see where the bodyguard's hands are, if they've gone to their weapons or anything like that. I have a passive of 22, but I'm after the signal that Moira gave. They're the two that are standing out amongst the three, again amongst their group that are not friendly or don't seem friendly.
With a passive of 22, I can tell you that from the moment you approached the wizards, all three bodyguards had their hands on their weapons.
Josh has got so many thoughts, but Josh can't say. Can't have conversations with Moira because they're right in front of us. Damn it, if only we had Eltra on here so we could talk in our minds.
We all miss Golden Hand, but he's out doing good deeds.
We think.
Sorry, that's not my spell selection.
I'll take a step back behind Moira and just see if they remove their hands from their weapons and sort of take up a guard position next to the muscle priest.
Mm-hmm. So, did you want to orchestrate this here and now?
Can I do a thing, which is, if now everyone is expecting me to do magic, I would just see if I could sleight of hand a sending spell to make it like I'm preparing for the Zone of Truth spell, so I can tell Idris that to beware his bodyguards in case something has happened to be a corrupting influence, and to take care of his own people's safety. And if they need to come to the church, there will be open eyes for his family and his family.
Okay. I think I will allow you to pick between Arcana and Sleight of Hand, potentially even Religion, because your spells are obviously divinely allocated. Whatever's going to give you the best chance to select the wrong spell, as it were.
Either Religion or Arcana, then they're much better for my sleight of hand.
That's fine.
I need to pick the best dice for this. I'm gonna put, you've been rolling well for me. Okay, that is 25.
25, nice.
Rolled a 19.
Yeah, you can certainly, as you're preparing the zone of truth, you kind of go through the movements, but instead of completing a zone of truth spell, you change it at the end to sending. What would you like to say? You have, what is it, 24 words?
Within the correct words, it's basically, yeah, something about, don't make me do word count now, but the blood on the guards, something may, they're
If it's stressing you out trying to come up with the words, you can give us the gist of the message and we can.
okay. Something about the gist of blood, blood of this, the blood of the guards, they're acting shifty, and best interests for who they could be corrupted against you. Promise safety in the Church of Kalemvor for you, your family will protect or avenge.
And I guess just as a matter of tradition, do you manage to perfectly use your word count, or does your last sentence get cut off?
When I have time, I'm very good at getting these into 24, the exact number of word counts.
It's all good. I'm not going to penalise you for not knowing that this was coming.
Kiss,
The
kiss,
last
kiss.
3 words are so fucking something.
So fucking.
Very good. As is tradition with sending, you never finish.
I'm very good at this.
You do get a kind of a very obvious furrowing of the brow. Bald men have a lot of brow to furrow. So you and you do get a kind of message back. What are you talking about? Our bodyguards are magically impelled under extreme duress not to harm us. I trust them with my life.
So magic should not be trusted as the overall thing, but under this spell, we will see what we can commit to. Be aware that even with these most magics, there are some people who are able to withhold it, but we are going to use this as a symbol of our good faith within the circumstances that we can, and hopefully prove our opportunities with longer lasting and continual support, not only in the better interests of this situation, but to actually protect those of less power in our charge. Because of course, there is magic and there is intent, and where there is intent, one can find a way. And therefore we will find a way. And then I'm going to cast Zone of Truth. I'm hoping that spiel is kind of the answer to the question in my head.
So yeah, you cast Zone of Truth. There's no roll involved. It is a 15-foot radius sphere. So I don't actually know what the span of the deck is. I'm assuming you're centering it on their table.
Yeah.
So with 15 foot around you, you also encompass some of the tables surrounding, and you overhear some conversations where someone suddenly blurts out that they're having an affair. Someone's paying a tip and just suddenly says, "I'm not." 12% is outrageous.
I really like rainbows.
Oh. And that fixes a relationship. He's like, I also like rainbows.
There's a couple on a speed date, and not a speed date, sorry, on a blind date, and they suddenly just become very honest with each other about where they want a relationship to go. And yes, so you haven't just damaged relationships.
If you enter into the Zone of Truth do you abide by its rules, or is it when it's first cast?
Until the spell ends, a creature that that enters the spell's area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there must make a charisma saving throw. Charisma saving throws.
Yeah.
Okay.
So these commoners have all failed their rolls. Like,
Yeah, you can choose to fade it, I think. But I think Jakarth is going to, because only Moira is going to know, because Moira will know who passes and who fails. So I'm going to try and resist it just to see if I can help out.
Mm-hmm. You're going to be the control group.
I rolled a 15.
What did I say? Charisma?
Yes.
I did. Interesting. What is the DC?
Charisma saving throw, that is an 18.
Bugger.
I'm a weird. I have a 20 in wisdom. I'm very good.
Jakarth's also like, I like rainbows too.
Of course you do. Who doesn't like rainbows?
Donuts.
All three of the red wizards failed, and as far as you can tell, they chose to fail.
Okay. Awesome.
All three of the bodyguards also failed. Highest I rolled was a 15, and they don't have anything to add to it.
Okay. For the fun of it, can my peons also roll?
I was going to say, what about the Clem-Brights? You're like,
Sure. I'm going to assume they're wise, but not necessarily charismatic.
oh.
One definitely failed. Yeah, they both failed.
Oh.
Okay.
Do you
First
have to-
question:
Do you have to roll, Talia?
like me?
Or...
Have to be honest, guys. Like, do you like me?
Are you genuinely asking this?
No,
Oh, go on. This is the only chance to find out.
she doesn't want to know the answer.
Like your scribe's like, I like you, boss. And everyone's like, You're like, no loyalty.
I mean, if it helped, I rolled for myself and I rolled a natural 20, so I am desperately lying to myself.
Perfect.
I think just under the effects of this Zone of Truth spell, I would like to craft, as best as I am able, an agreement that we will support each other in making sure that this usurper doesn't go and attack our lands, and that we will make sure that no harm will come to any member of this party through maliciousness, design, or neglect, unless that person strikes forth under deliberate intent to harm.
Right. The red wizards are all engaging in this. They're all putting forward points of their own, kind of all within the spirit of what you're proposing. Just kind of, wording clarifications and the like. And all three red wizards sign.
Fantastic.
Bodyguards remain with their weapons, with their hands on their swords at their hilts.
Peons, bodyguards, you also have to agree.
Even though I've taken a step back, they've still got their hands on their weapons.
It wasn't. It was not from the moment you stepped forward, but from the point your group.
Oh, when we approached.
Them.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
I thought it was from when I took that. Okay, all right.
No. They've been at ready ever since the kind of two opposing diplomats came together.
So why is it exactly you want to meet with Lord Neverember?
Well, we wish to try and plea our case so that this land can remain strong and perhaps at some point depose the usurper, Zaz-Tam.
And what is your case?
Sorry, difficult.
Yeah, having a gravelly voice.
Want to make sure that the
it's a
bodyguards
choice.
verbally say that they will protect these wizards with their life and do no harm against them. That is...
Oh, so did you direct that? Because the Red Wizards will talk for their bodyguards ad infinitum.
No, I'm trying to deliberately make sure that both the Kelenvorite peons and the bodyguards also verbally agree to the explicit rules of mission and care.
Could we have said before we went in, because I can't lie currently, so could we have said that, because obviously we've got to write our names down on these things, that the two peons write down Arcana and Giacomo as their names? Because then that protects Arcana and Giacomo.
But they can't lie now.
They can't lie.
I know.
Unless we baptize them before. You're like, congratulations, you've been given your names.
You explicitly chose priests whose names were also Arcana and Giacomo.
No, we just told them that were their names.
One is called Jack, and one specializes really high in the Arcana.
I'm going to give you some cool nicknames before we go in, which I'm sure will be binding if we had to sign a contract.
Yeah.
I mean, Giacomo's named after a coat, so it's just...
I don't trust these bodyguards, and I want to go and catch them out. This is the whole point of everything.
I
So
have,
I'd say-
No, you go.
I would say that kind of bringing out this contract has taken about 8 minutes, kind of going forth on the wording of it, and then they've you finally kind of landed on an agreement which the scribe has drawn up the draft of. That obviously will need to maybe do another version, but because you wanted it under the zone of truth initially, you know, this rough draft is what is going to get signed. As you indicate that you want the bodyguards to sign as well, you notice one of them attempts to take his hand away from his blade, but starts to quiver before blurting out, "Long live Zaz-Tam," and
Arrow,
slashes the sword through one of the necks of the wizards, and that is where we will take our break.
Oh, no.
That's what I'm watching for. Okay.
That's what we were waiting for.
That's what I was waiting to react to, so that didn't happen.
Meanwhile, on the ship, we've just found some, like, dirty magazines. They're like, naughty wizards. Naughty.
We will discuss this in the next half, how quickly you can react. Unfortunately, I think the wizards have what is known as plot vulnerability, as opposed to plot armor. Right.
They might have plot vulnerability, but you are encountering me. I will adopt anyone.
If they're alive.
Quick, use your inspiration before we lose it. We're going into the break. Use it.
So, during this campaign, I am setting 9 letters, which are definitely make at least one 9-letter word. Might make more. I don't know. I haven't checked. But if you manage to get to the 9-letter word, I will give you a D10 inspiration. If you only get an 8-letter, it'll be D8. There's a whole set of rules. You know, I won't go over it every episode. But your letters for today are 3 E's, I, 2 N's, R, T, V. I'll say that again. That is EEE, INN, RTV. And we will see you after the break. Hello and welcome back to Soul Survivors. Just before the break, our party was split into 2 teams of 2. One was investigating the Thayan boat moored just outside of just outside of the city in the docks. The others were on the Beach Leviathan, another ship, but significantly smaller pirate ship that now serves as a pub. There was a diplomatic mission talking to 3 Thayan wizards, and while the wizards were not on the boat, a pair just doing some sneaky looking around in the navigation room. We found out that the Thayans that have turned up are not aligned with Zaztam, the Mortarch. Is that a word? The dead ruler of Thay. They called him the usurper, and genuinely seem to be wanting to bring this information to the Lord of Neverwinter to try and prevent Zaztam from getting any more powerful. Meanwhile, the other group, you discovered a map with several pins indicating locations on the Sword Coast, and you found a set of documents, which we will come back to. I'm aware that we have not discussed what is on them. Both Jakarth and Zimora, however, were quite suspicious of the bodyguards and decided that a zone of truth was needed, which was indeed what was needed because one of the bodyguards launched at the Red Wizards. But before we deal with any of that, let us deal with our anagram before the break. So I gave you an assortment of letters. 3 of you gave me 9-letter words, which I am aware of. I'm going to ask Evie first. You had an 8-letter word. So what was your 8?
My 8-letter word, which I would like to make clear is my partner's 8-letter word, I will not be seen stealing their answer, was reinvent.
Lovely, and very appropriate for Arcana as well. And Tom, could you give us what the 9-letter word was?
I had intervene.
Intervene, indeed, was the word I started with. Please, in chat, if you've thought of any other 9-letter or indeed any length letter words, please do let us know. Seeing as 3 of you did in fact get the 9-letter word, you will get D10s. Evie, you get a D8. So, not a million miles below.
I love my pity dice.
It's not pity. You gave us a word. That's all I asked for. Fantastic. Right. How to deal with this?
Could I intervene?
Oh.
I think before you do this, I want to go back to our friends on the boat. You have well.
Sorry, Talia.
Talia
knew that was coming and booed you.
Yeah, fair. Reasonable reaction. As you have, you found these documents in the secret compartment. Before you get a chance to properly go into what the documents contain, the door, you hear a key in the door. Someone speaking in, I'm assuming neither of you speak Thayan, speaking in a language you don't understand, and then opening the door and walking into the room, and a red wizard has entered. Sees you both. And this is why everybody now is going to roll initiative.
I'm guessing we didn't have time to hide behind our hands or a lamp?
Callback.
I mean, yeah, I'll allow you to roll some stealth checks, see how generally stealthy you were being in this lit room that could be seen from the outside.
Cool. I like that. I like that.
For those on the Beach Leviathan, I'm going to say that the attack on the Red Wizard was a surprise round.
Damn it.
So it's going to happen on count 20 plus their dex. So whether you can react to it before it happened is going to count on whether you can beat that 20 plus dex.
Right, I'm using my inspiration straight away.
You don't happen to have alert as a
Yeah.
futile
Oh, I
review.
rolled a 6 in anticipation pre-break with the last D10. I'm going to add that on.
So that's six initiative.
So that would add that onto my initiative and my roll. then. No, the 6 with the D10 from last week's anagram.
Ah,
before
see.
the break. Cheeky.
bold. Mostly because I started screaming, quick,
You
we're
started
going to lose
screaming
it.
to do it ahead of time.
Okay. Did anyone roll over a 20?
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm on the fence as to whether I'm going to allow 2 of the inspiration dice to use, because technically you haven't added it to a roll before the break.
Oh,
So-
mine was used with the one I've just got.
Oh, I know you were. I'm looking at Talia.
Oh,
I
okay.
can do it again. I can do it again. That's better.
Sure. What were your rolls over 20?
With the not better roll, I rolled a 27.
Okay.
I rolled a
Let him
9.
kill his NPC.
I rolled a 19 for a 30.
Okay. So Jakoth's on 30.
It would have been 24, but when you said that you were going to add their dex to it, I was like, grab if it's +4.
Okay. I mean, you called my bluff. They have a +0 to dex.
Maybe
I
use my
rolled-
initiative. My
I
thing.
rolled actually above that anyway then. That would have been a 21 for me.
Right. What about 15 to 20?
I got a 15.
Nice.
I will also mention that I got a 28 on that stealth,
Nice.
and I also cannot be surprised, but I'm not sure if ours counted as surprised, but I thought I'd mention it anyway.
You're like, I knew this was coming.
Tom, what did you roll?
My initiative was a 6. My stealth was a 19.
Okay. So, I'm going to say that those of you on the Thayan ship, you definitely had time because you heard keys rattling in the lock. You had time to hide, so you can both pick places to hide, and those will be your stealth rolls. But we will obviously deal with what happens to you on your turns. Josh, Jakarth is going first. So you see the bodyguard drawing a weapon and swinging the arm out. You do have a chance to react before the blade hits the wizard.
Is it a full turn?
Oh, that you're just going to take now?
Yeah.
This is your turn. Yes.
Okay. So yes, I'm going to take it. Seeing as this is the one that's going for the wizard, I mean, my bow is instantly out. I was on sort of like tender hooks, almost like Western style, going to grab it anyway. But I grab it and fire 2 arrows into the one that is lunging at the red wizard.
Mhm.
Sharpshooter.
Okay.
That is a 22 to hit,
22 hits.
and then I don't think that one will hit. That one is a 14.
14 does not hit.
Okay, longbow is a D8. I'm going to make him my favoured foe, which means I'm going to add a dice to it. That dice is a D6. I'm going to add the D6. That is 4 plus 2, which is 6, plus 17. So 23 points of piercing damage.
Nice. Okay.
And then I'm going to... how wide is the table? Or how far away am I from the wizard?
I mean, this is one of the situations where D&D sizing, because a 5-foot table would be plenty for 6 people to sit around. However, 10 foot feels more appropriate in terms of D&D rules. I'm going to say that it's a 5-foot table. but because of the way you all kind of sit out, it's almost as if like you're trying to put your character down, but you keep kind of being jinked into a square. So it's only a 5-foot table, but it's occupying a 10 by 10 square in terms of rules.
Okay, I am going to take a step forward, and then there's like a shimmer that echoes sort of around Jakarth as he steps into a temporary portal, taught to him by Arcana, and teleports 10 feet towards the one that's attacking. So I pop out, not quite next to him, but in fact, I'm just going to be like up in the air. I'm just going to teleport 10 feet up in the air right above him and fire another arrow down. I get a third attack. Oh no, I have to target a separate target. So I'll just teleport in front of him.
Okay.
Like, aha!
You're not really going to get in front, though, because in front of him is directly the wizard. So there's not really enough.
Sorry, I meant next to him. I'll be next to him where there's a space. So I'm in close combat with that particular bodyguard.
No worries. Do you have Sentinel or anything of the like?
I do not, unfortunately.
Okay. Is that everything on your turn?
That is. I do have Revivify. just to throw that out there.
Cool. Talia, you're up next.
So targeted wizard is essentially being blocked in at the table and can't get out with the people around him.
Effectively so, yeah. Would
Cool.
take opportunity attacks.
I would like to cast banishment on the attacky guy.
On the one attacking.
Yes.
Okay. I briefly thought you were banishing the wizard. Okay. What sort of save is it?
It is a charisma saving throw.
Okay.
Basically to get people out of his my guy's direct section so he can leave.
Well, that is not going to beat your 18. So, yes, the one attacking briefly disappears. You can see, however, that the other two have also drawn swords. They just weren't as quick as the other one.
You get them out of here. Fucking move. And I'm going to use my movement to climb over the table and get to the other side. And then be a barrier.
Sorry, we'll...
Yeah, I'm going to basically put myself between the other bodyguards and the wizards by climbing over the table, and then hopefully the peons who are just here can grab them and leave.
Okay. It is now the bodyguard's turn, acting, as I said, on count 20. You didn't catch it as the one that you banished was banished too soon, but the blades of the other two, as they emerge from their sheaths, suddenly erupt into flame. And bright light just kind of exudes from them, briefly kind of blinding you. Not not the condition blinding, but, you know, you have to blink it away. They're each going to attack a red wizard. That is what they have been compelled to do. And unfortunately, they make 3 attacks.
Would it be disadvantaged because now Jakarth and I are giving cover, essentially?
You said you wanted to put yourself between them.
Like between the guys and the wizards?
Yeah. But rules as writ, they can still move around you. Don't worry, the wizards have hit points.
And they have some hit points.
Fine.
They do. So they're going to attack the adult wizards. So the first one, that is a hit, dirty 20. That is a miss. That just hits. So that is... Should have prepared all of my dice beforehand. There we go, right. Sorry, lots of maths now. This is the maths side of the game.
DM math.
6 points of slashing and 4 points of fire on the first attack. 6 points of slashing. Ooh. And 12 points of fire on the second. So, not looking good, that first one. The other one's going to, as I said, attack the other wizard. All 3 of those hit. That is 4 points of slashing and 11 points of fire. 4 points of slashing and 6 points of fire. Math brain. Yeah. And 4 points of slashing and 6 points of fire. So that hit is significantly worse because of the 3. One of the wizards is still standing, but does look quite injured. That, however, is all 3 of the bodyguards, because one of them is elsewhere. Arcana, what would you like to do on your turn? So you can choose a hiding spot first. You've primarily got the desk, and then there's a few kind of cabinets that have been bolted to the walls around you.
I think I'd probably dive under the table like a child, to be honest, but trust the dark to conceal my features, and I'm wearing a mask and goggles still.
Mm-hmm.
So this figure, it definitely looks wizardy, right?
Yes, definitely. That's interesting, because you don't really know. I imagine you'd have been briefed by Zinmoira for what to look out for. So, yeah, definitely looks kind of red robes, shaved head, like all hair that you could see has been shaved off.
This is probably not gonna work because he's just gonna counterspell it. So, but I'll try it anyway. I'll see what happens. I kind of level my gun and it makes a whirring noise, quite familiar from below the table. Can they please make me a con saving throw?
Con saving throw.
Not all wizards are its. I just want to reaffirm that.
Yes, they are. Ooh, but we've...
I'm going to tell you now, they have advantage on saving throws versus spells and magical effects.
So rude.
Charisma, did you say?
No, Constitution.
Oh, Constitution. That's only 14.
Oh, excellent. Okay, he gets zapped into my gun, whirled around, and I shoot him back out 120 feet away from us as I make my run for it.
Okay.
Thank you for not throwing him out the window. You're just like, enjoy the ocean.
Oh, I could do that. Can I get him in the water?
You can, yeah. The
And
boat
hope
isn't wide
they
enough.
can swim.
Yeah, you hear a... Oh, yeah.
Other side of the ship from where our boat is. I would like to make that big clear.
That would be a death sentence for somebody in heavy armor.
I mean,
We're a
unfortunately...
wizard, they'll be fine.
We're aware. We're bearing this in mind when we go against, like, Warforged. And I just...
Make a dash for it
Cool.
after
Yeah.
grabbing the documents. No, that's another thing. I won't grab the documents if I can't do that.
I'll grab the documents.
You
Not
got
to
them.
meta, but yeah.
Rogue's gonna rogue.
Rogue. Yeah.
As you run out of this cabin, you see that there are a number of zombie pirates.
Dead men tell no tales. I'm not too worried about that.
As you jump overboard, you're like, bye.
There's your dead deck.
Yeah.
Right, there's no captain, so Tom, what's Giacomo doing?
I think having seen this, you're kind of like, I think Giacomo was hiding in between two of the cabinets, and again getting ready to be all like spooky, scary shadow creature, and then just like, oh well, that resolves that. But yeah, watches Arcana going, and then just scoop up the documents, sticks them into the coat, and actually rogue bonus action dash, to keep.
Oh, I can do that as well.
I think I think we're keeping. I've got the mobile feat, so I can run 40, but I am keeping pace with Arcana. Just look, I don't think Arcana's going to fall over, but just being prepared, and it also seems rude to leave her behind. Also, clocking something that deep recess of Giacomo's mind, the Alan part of him was like, yeah, zombie pirates. The stories he was told as a little boy, and it's like, I knew they were real. You're like, why did you ever doubt they were real, Alan? But yes, so I think action, grab documents. Are we? No, I'm not grabbing the map because we've got a picture. But we've got, because did we both find documents, or was it just because we both went into a drawer? Did we each find documents, or was it just the one?
You both got different documents because you were both opening a drawer. You both got your natural 20s, so you both found the secret compartments in those drawers.
Right. So, yes. So, I'm just, because Arcana didn't pick up there, but I, just picking up which documents that if we got both. Yeah.
I imagine you would have splayed them out, kind of ready to do it, and you just literally just scooped everything up.
Great.
I'm gonna get out of here, and it's just gonna say, "Dear diary, I had a really nice day at sea today."
I hear that I'm going to meet Zen Moira. She seems cool and relaxing. I'm sure she's never going to yell at me. Having sort of splayed it, stuck it in, bonus action, dashing, to make it to the rowboat.
Day 100 at sea. I hate sailing. I don't know why I became a captain. I can't even swim.
Day 101, dear Santa, for Christmas.
Well, again, if we're being correct, it is bad luck for a sailor to know how to swim. But fortunately, they are a red, because that implies you were going to fall overboard. Also, same reason where you'd have a gold earring, because there'd be enough gold in your ear to give you a good burial. Ship facts with Tom. Anyway, yes, let's get out of it. Let's go.
Also, why the tattoos everywhere as well, identifying features.
And fisherman's jumpers. See, I might not be a sailor, but I know sailing facts in my little scarf. Yes, if that ever. Also got my reaction prepared just in case anything tries to grab me.
Okay. As you both run, dodging past these zombies, you do notice flaring up, kind of in the center of a deck, an arcane circle, which I think Arcana more than Giacomo would recognize as a teleportation circle, as a very soggy-looking red wizard teleports back onto the boat.
Wizard's gonna wizard.
Yeah.
But that is their action taken up. So
You're just gonna keep dropping him in the ocean each turn. No, stop it.
I mean, you've got to run out of 7th level spell slots eventually. That takes us back to the top of the round. And Jukov.
I realised that there was something I could have done as my bonus action last time, but I didn't, so I will do it this time.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to look at the two that are left, and I'm sort of going to hone in on my next attack, I'm basically using Planar Warrior. So as a bonus action, choose one creature you can see within 30 feet of you, which will be the one closest to me. The next time you hit that creature on this turn with a weapon attack, all damage dealt by the attack becomes force damage, and the creature takes an extra 2d8 force damage from the attack.
Nice.
And I will move my favoured foe onto him as well. And I will I'll teleport in the air. I'll sort of use the table, put my foot on the table and use it as a springboard to flip up in the air. And then I will do like a teleport, almost Nightcrawler style, teleport, firing arrows down onto him. And then if I target the other guy, hang on, wait a minute, because I need to get the ruling right. I need to do one on him, one on the other one, then I will attack the first guy again. That's how I have to do it. So, but these will all be sharpshooter. So the first attack.
Just a quick check. Moving your favoured foe doesn't cost a bonus action or anything like that.
This is a good question. Let me just quickly check. Because I think it's slightly different to how Hunter's Mark works. Hunter's Mark, which is now completely redundant because of this favoured foe thing.
Only if you're a ranger.
I like Hunter's Mark.
When you hit a creature with an attack roll, you can mark the target as your favoured enemy for 1 minute or until you lose concentration, as if you were concentrating on a spell. So
hit the first one and you can move it.
Yeah. So I've hit. I think I've hit him. That's 15 plus 8, so 23.
Yep, that'll hit.
Okay, so I'll do the attack against him first. So this is all force damage. I need more d8s. Where are my other d8s? There they are. And d6. That's going to be 6. 6 plus 7 is 13, 15, 21, 38 points of force damage.
31, did you say?
38.
38. Nice.
Ouch.
Yeah, still standing, but significantly more bloodied.
I then shift the attack to the next one. Still teleport, and that's a natural 20.
Blimey.
Could have done that on the last roll. So that's 2d8. So it's just a 2d8. No additional bonuses. 8 plus 17, so 25 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And then the third attack goes on to the first guy that I attacked before.
Yeah.
That is what is that? 13, no, 18. That's 18 plus 8, so 26.
Okay. Nice.
It's just the 1d8, so that's going to be 19 points of piercing damage. I get a plus 17 from sharpshooter.
Yeah, definitely looking significantly worse for wear. That first
The
one.
third teleport that I do lands me on the table in front of the... all 3 wizards still alive, or is one dead?
All 3 wizards are still alive, but the 2 older wizards both look like they've taken some hefty hits.
Okay, I'll just look at... Because I take it these 2... Yeah, they're still in close... They're in close combat with these 2 guards, so I'm just going to teleport onto the table right in front of them and just look at them both and go... Oh, look, all 3 of them and go, you all need to get out of here. Go to our peon 1, peon 2, make sure these 2 get out of here. Sorry, Moira. Sorry, old habits. And then that's my turn.
Just repeating what I'd already told them. It's good to have reinforcements.
We do have names.
No, you
We
don't.
just don't remember them at the moment.
And that was there was a bit more urgency in my voice as well.
I think my name's Arcana. I got confused.
After Jakarta is Zinmora.
As I look at these wizards, as a grave cleric, does it look like any death saving throws that they could theoretically have would be the victim of plot vulnerability?
I'm going to try and kill these wizards, Talia. Whether you let me or not is down to you. I'm not going to take away your agency as players.
That is fine. It is the thing of, if they're that close, do I just let them go unconscious and then heal them for maximum hit points? Or do I try and fix them before?
One of them, I mean, if you were to estimate, looks maybe about a 10th what I gave them as their starting hit points. The other one's probably a 30th.
Math.
Math.
That's fine. I can try and I can fix it if it doesn't work later. Okay, I'm gonna bonus action, mass healing word 5th level. Maybe I got big spells now. So that is 3d4. There's no d4 there. So 14 points of healing
Each or?
each. So each. That is my bonus action, and then action I am going to just get my whip and just literally just hit the weakest looking knight for a 15. I can count. That is a 23 to hit.
23 hits. Please roll me your damage.
Fantastic. That is a 4 plus. And the blessed strikes on 8. And these guys are still alive, right?
They are still alive, yes.
Okay, boo.
Sorry. I did look at the undead list, but none of them appealed to me.
No worries about that. That is 6 points of radiant damage.
Nice.
And with blessed strikes, and 5 points of slashing damage. I'm not really.
Are you looking to kill?
I think about it for a moment, and then I think I just want to knock them into unconsciousness, if possible.
Okay. That is what happens.
Okay.
So yeah, the radiant happens. You give the knight a nasty sunburn, and then yeah, you clout them unconscious.
Cool. Then just position myself in a way that I'm trying to be more of a barrier between third guy and the wizards.
Okay. Where is Jakarth at the moment? Because you did some backflicky things.
I am on the table, right in front of the wizards.
Okay. The bodyguard is going to redirect his attention to the scary cleric, and is going to attack Zimoira.
Fine.
Right. Does a 22 hit you?
It does.
In that case, a 28 will also hit you.
No.
Natural 1 will not.
Okay.
But that is 7 points of slashing damage,
Okay.
7 points of fire.
Okay.
It is then
Cool.
11 points of slashing damage and 9 points of fire.
Okay, 11 and 9. Okay. That is 20, so I need to be at 10. And, okay. I make both Constitution saving throws, so the banishment is kept up.
You then watch as the knight takes the flaming blade and places it against their side, one of the places where Jakarth's their shoulder, one of the places where Jakarth's arrows hit, cauterizing the wound and seeming to resolve their strength a little bit more. They use second wind.
That's fair. Cool. I'm still good, and I've still got banishment up, so I'm fine.
Okay. Did you roll twice or total for the concentration?
I rolled for. Well, I think I rolled 4 times because I've got the advantage.
Oh, yeah. All good. Oh, Warcaster.
Yeah.
No problem at all. That is the bodyguard's turn, which means now the camera pans back over to the boat and Arcana.
Mid-run.
How close are we to the place where our boat is? Like, is it still a ways away?
I didn't imagine that you would have gone all the way to the back of the boat. You would have moored it pretty close to the front. You're probably only about 40, 50 feet away.
Okay. Is it worth depositing our friend back in the ocean?
It's very funny, and it does waste a spell for him.
That is true. Okay, you pulled my arm. What are the phrases? if I must, if you insist.
If you have to.
Can he please make another Constitution saving throw?
He knows you're there this time and counter spells.
Ah,
Rude.
knew that would happen. Now who's wasting spell slots? It's also me.
Yeah, first time he didn't know to expect it, and you caught him by surprise. Second time, not going to fool me twice.
No. I also don't want to hit this guy with. Sorry, I've just assumed that he's male the entire time.
Don't know. All Thayan wizards shave their heads entirely, so.
I've just so I don't want to hurt this person necessarily because we have been stealing their shit. And I don't have much info. So I'm just going through what my bonus actions can be. You probably can't do non-lethal damage on an Eldritch Blast, so I'm not going to risk it.
Depends where you hit them.
I guess I'm just going to cunning action dash to get over the side.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely fine. So yeah, you try to zap with your gun, but you're foiled this time round. But
I shake my fist good-naturedly. Good-naturedly, I don't know, somewhere in between.
Cool. Everything on your turn?
Yep.
Giacomo.
Probably now launched over the side if I was within like 40-ish feet.
Yeah, that's fine. Give me an acrobatics check for how you swan dive off.
Sure, I'm going to
roll
add
a
my
one.
inspiration to this.
Okay, what did you roll?
Don't dive in the boat.
It was a 10 on the dice plus 4, plus another 7.
Nice.
21, I think, overall?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a dive worthy of Olympic sports if Olympic sports existed in Faerun.
Excellent.
If
that's everything on your turn, then Giacomo.
I think very similar. Dash, get to the. So with my dash, it's 80, which I'm just like speeding up. Giacomo is an acrobatic sort, so yeah, I'll also roll acrobatics to get down the rope.
Okay.
Let's have a look.
Are you actually trying to swing down the rope rather than dive?
Yes. Very heroically with a 24 acrobatics, as again, like my good lady wife was in her previous life an acrobat, and now, thanks to some evil science, isn't so good. But you know, Giacomo, jack of all trade, has had some trade. My point being is that he had some very impressive rope, literally like rope trick, like twirly, 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 gets down to the. If you're okay with that, using that dash as well to get down to the boat, and always, I feel, yeah, if we're both in the boat, if I kind of literally dived in, yeah. So that's should we go? Yeah. Hands on the. Getting ready
to. We're kind of sitting ducks now.
I mean, do you want to swim back to Neverwinter?
Maybe the wizard would just think we're rascally scamps and let us get away with those darn kids.
We can but hope.
Yeah, sure. Let's go with that. But it is now the captain's turn.
Oh.
You having dove off of the boat. You don't have a view now of the deck, but you do see a bald wizard head shining in the moonlight, just peer over the deck, and then a hand with a finger pointing. And as I am totally just trying to find a spell that I want.
I think they took Power Word Kill out of the game, Sean, so I don't think that's applicable anymore.
This is a monster that I've adapted from another one. And
So it's called Finger of Love.
you'll be glad
Be
to
my
know that
friend.
Power Word Kill was not one that I picked.
I mean, it's such a...
That's being nice.
Yeah.
So I think power word dance.
Power Word. Power Word Boogie. Come on, I want to hit you both.
I'm sure you do. But
Yeah.
you've got two little rogues in a rowboat who are going to be cartwheeling all over the place.
Yeah, just two little scamps.
Okay.
Confetti ball.
You watch as the wizard points, weaving some arcane sigils in the air, and a sphere of negative energy ripples out from a point centered on your boat. Please could you both make me Constitution saving throws?
Sorry, I just flung my dice across the room.
In a fit of anger.
18?
No, 19.
18 and a 19. Okay. Where did I put? Those both pass.
Woo.
So you both take half of this. However, I am casting it at 9th level.
Incredibly rude.
Yeah.
No manners. I only spat him in the water.
Yeah.
Sorry, 1 out.
Right.
If
That
we just
is
both die in this little boat.
18.
I'm sorry, if this wizard can bust out 9th level spells, why are we helping the ones at the top? They can do it themselves.
He's a captain.
Who says they're the same level wizard? 18 plus 19. 37. And then got to roll another 6 because of the upcasting. What did I say? 37 plus 16. 53. Nope. Just 2 of them. 56. Halved to 28. Because you both passed.
Imagine if the 56 was what the half the result was.
I mean,
Yes.
I don't know about you, Giacomo, but that hurt. But, not too bad.
I mean, I remember being kicked by an elephant, so,
That is it. We will flip back over to the other group and Jakarth, top of the round.
There's just the one guy left.
Yes.
One is knocked out. Cool. I will. Seeing that one is knocked out, I will go lethal on the. I'm not playing a pacifist character this time. I'm going lethal on the other one, so I can only do the 2 attacks. But I will use Planar Warrior again as a bonus action. So Sharpshooter is a 14 plus 8, so 22.
The hit, yeah, that hits.
So that is. I'm not going to move my favoured foe over this time because that's still on the one that's unconscious.
Mhm.
That is. God, that was really bad. That's 6, 9, 10, 27 points of piercing damage.
27.
Yes.
Just had to do 7, so I have to do additional maths. Yep.
Ranger math. And then I shall attack again. 11 plus 8, 19.
To hit?
Yep.
That hits still.
Still sharpshooter.
Mhm.
That is 22 points of piercing damage, roll of 5.
Nice. Yeah, looks significantly hurt.
Awesome.
And
Yeah, that's a
return?
plus. Yeah, that's a +2 magic bow, just in case that comes into effect for anything. I'll use my bonus action. I will. Have the wizards moved, or are they still sat down?
They've had a round, so they've tried to get as far away as they can, but they are slightly hindered by the table. But yeah, they've managed to get round to where the two clerics are.
Okay. Any space that there is between them and this remaining bodyguard, I'm going to fill that space.
Okay.
Try and block them from getting to them, and then that'll be my turn.
Oh, Zenmoira. You're muted.
Keep doing this. Okay. I would like to, and I'm thinking about how overkill to do this on this guy. I'd like to pull down one of my gloves and go and just touch him on that big, shiny, bald head. Cast Inflict Wounds.
Okay. And I believe you've also got an extra thing that will happen.
Do. So that is a 23 to hit.
23 hits.
No, here comes the horror.
I am. So I want to cast this as a 3rd level, which is 5d10 to start off with.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Moira.
To do that. So that is 6, 16, 17, 20, 28 points of necrotic damage. And then, because of certain circumstances, that is 3d10 more of necrotic damage.
Mhm.
So adding on to whatever number I just said, that is 30 more points. And if he thinks he's resistant, he's not.
Okay. He's not resistant. Yeah, that's not quite, but almost enough to tick over into massive damage. But this one is dead. I'm not going to describe what happens. I'm just going to evoke the image of the Green Mile, and those who know.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh. Yeah. There's a smirk that appears across Jakar's face for the briefest moment before it just disappears, and then sort of like a look of horror. Whoa. Okay.
I don't particularly enjoy that. I don't like to see that. But he seems on a mission to kill, so fuck that guy.
Yeah. Fuck that guy.
That guy in particular.
What did you say, boss?
Also, don't fuck with you, I think is the phrase. Damn, Moira, you've been through some shit since I last saw you.
At this point, eyes are gleaming red, teeth are very sharp, going, yes.
I dig it.
By my count, you've got about 7 rounds of before the banished one comes back.
I pull out a chair. Would you like to sit down? Shall we just take a pew for a moment?
Oh, we can just have another cup of tea. Let's move the others to the other side of the table. What were you saying about them swearing to protect you? We'll talk about it later.
Oh, actually, we've left one guy unconscious, and I will use the 7 rounds to hog tie him. Similar sort of thing to what I did with Brian in Resurgence. I have Druidcraft with Jakarth as well, so I'm going to hog tie him and then use the Druidcraft to reinforce the tie up.
Mm-hmm. No worries at all. While you're doing so, you kind of, as you're kind of maneuvering them around to tie the rope, you do the mask does slip a little bit, and you can see that where the cheek tattoos should have been, the flesh has just been ripped away.
He was chewing away at the inside of his mouth.
The outside of his mouth.
They were
They've
chewing
pushed-
each other's cheeks.
It's gone inwards, not outwards.
So it's almost as if you can almost see like fingernail marks in the flesh where just whole chunks of flesh have been torn away from the outside of his cheeks.
Ooh, lovely. I had the image in my head when you said about the smell and blood that he was actively chewing the inside of his cheek. And of course, that's where my brain went. But
No.
that's still a cool image.
Yeah, no, the tattoos on the outside of their face have been marred and therefore ineffective. Cool. Right. Well, they've got 7 rounds of waiting for someone to come back. You've got therefore 7 rounds of rowing. What would you like to do with your several rounds of rowing?
I can cast haste on one of us to double a little bit of rowing, maybe?
Yeah.
I was toying with the idea of using a spell to blast us back, but I don't think I have anything that has more than 10 feet of pushback.
Hey, if it's going to move us, it's going to move us, Also, we're going to have to make sure we untie ourselves before we undo the
Untie
knots.
ourselves?
No, because we tied the boat with our very good knot tying.
Oh, yeah.
This is the point where I'm going to assume from Talia that is it one of those knots that you just kind of pull it at a particular place and then it.
It's a relative figure of 8 knot. You literally just pull it and it comes loose.
There we go. Yes, you can absolutely cast haste and do that. I will say that by the end of the 7 rounds, you can get back to the to return the boat to where you rented it from. While you're going, do either of you try to look at the documents that you took?
Oh, yes.
I mean, if I'm rowing, I hand them over to Arcana because, to be completely honest, Giacomo's like, hey, as I've said, I'm just a guy. And I don't, if they were like, this is how you cast this spell, I'm like, cool squiggles, very fun. Unless it's like a drawing of a tiger, I'm not going to be much use. Yeah. So yeah, I also pop the hat back on, so I'm just like, hello, I'm just a man who went on a lovely row. Yeah.
Mask is off, goggles up.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, just a date on the water.
Absolutely delightful, midnight on the whatever this sea's called. I also don't really know the geography of this place.
No, me neither.
Yeah.
A little bit. What are the documents giving me?
So the gist of the documents that you found, it's not, it's not my entire scheme by Zaztam, but it does give you a taste of what had been shared with this particular wizard. It mentions it does appear to be more or less a kind of diary. But it does seem that there was a meet with a contact in which a servant of a rival red wizard was given some information, and under the guise of being an enemy of Zaztam, and while the information was given, they were compelled to mutilate themselves to remove the tattoos that held them in sway, and then a powerful spell cast over them to hold them to basically force this bodyguard to serve Zaztam.
Well, that's probably useful for our friends to know. We probably should get that to them as quickly as possible.
Oh, yeah, I assume this is very plot relevant.
Yeah, I have no idea who Zastan is, though.
No idea.
Sounds scary.
It's any name with a Z. You're dealing with big business.
Yeah. Zebra.
Other than about the meat, there is a a mention of keeping in contact with the captains of 5 other ships.
Ooh. Excellent. As we're rowing, I will use my magical tinkering to make some copies by taking pictures of them and stashing them on my person, just in case the paper were to get lost or returned to some wizard, so that we just have a copy of them.
Brilliant. So yes, your 7 rounds will end with you mooring up, and you can begin running over to the beach Leviathan.
Thanks, Goblin. We had a lovely time.
During the 7 rounds, could I have 2 things? Could I have just gone through the pockets of the 2 that we've got there, and I then want to pull up and say something to the wizards before round 7?
Okay. Give me an investigation roll.
Investigation. Something I actually have proficiency in. Oh no. That's 8.
An 8, you find a bit of cheek.
Oh, good, they kept it.
Lovely. And then I'll walk over to the wizards and I'll go, right, well, it seems that you now owe us for saving your lives. I don't know what Zimora may request of you for it, but for my part of it, and I'm going to sit down and look Idris dead in the eyes. Tell me what you know about black obelisks.
Okay. So this is probably, not going to last very long before you get another bodyguard coming out of the air. Black obelisks. You'll have to be a bit more specific.
Ah, okay. One moment, and I'll put arrow ready for when he comes back.
Okay. Yeah. When does banishment end? Is it at the end of their turn or at the end of your turn? Until the spell ends, which is 1 minute.
Yes.
So presumably ends the beginning of your turn, I would have thought.
Yes. I think so.
I'm happy to call it like that.
Yeah. Oh.
In which case I held an attack action.
That's fine.
Because I go first.
It's your attack action for when they appear.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Zimora, the beginning of your turn, you feel the timer ticking as the maximum duration of your spell finishes, and the Knight of Fae blinks back into existence. What would you like to do on your turn?
Is starting to zone out slightly after having melted a man. It's not something that they like to do. It's something that they are very much unhappy about themselves with. So I think a word of radiance is, because thinking that if they roll high enough, then Dakath can just unconscious them. From that, the word is stop.
Okay.
So that's it.
Do I have to roll the save?
It is a con saving throw.
That's not going to beat your DC. Only a 10.
Okie dokie. Oh, that's good. Okay. 18 points of radiant damage.
Nice. Excellent. Yep. They are still standing, but yes. They have blinked back into the world, and the world was full of pain.
I'll do my attack then, didn't I?
Yes.
Holding an attack action, is that 2? Is that my normal attacks or just 1 attack? I very rarely hold my action.
Yeah. I think just use both of them. You've
Okey-dokey.
held the attack action, and you get 2 attacks as an attack action, so do.
Okay, so the first one is a 27 to hit, sharpshooter.
Yep.
And the second one is a 13 to hit.
13 does not hit.
Okay, so that's going to be so it's only holding an action, so I don't get to add any bonuses to it, but that will be 24 points of piercing damage.
Nice. They are still standing.
Okay.
Anything else in your turn?
And that was just a held action, so that's all I could do.
Of course. That is everything. Right, well, in that case, it is their turn. Come
fight me.
Hmm?
Just come fight me. This is like the other side of the place at this point. Just come fight me.
Yeah, is going to launch towards you because recognizes that you were the one that sent them away. So, yeah, there's 3 attacks coming at you.
Sure.
They grip the blade with 2 hands and swing. Which is my way of indicating I'm going to use a bigger dice. However, does an 18 hit you?
No.
Does a 19 hit you?
Yes.
1 hit.
Okay.
And I now need to find the bigger dice, which there it is. And those 2. That is 9 points of slashing and 3 fire.
Okay.
You get the feeling that the demi-plane you sent them to was probably a cold one. Slightly dulled the flame blade.
That's fine.
And then is going to again pulls an arrow out his shoulder and presses the blade against it. Second wind. Arcana. You can see from where you've left the boat the beach leviathan. In the interest of you having a slightly more interesting turn, it just happens that you can run up it in your movement.
Sweet. Cool. They weren't having their meeting by an open window by any chance, were they?
It was on the deck. Like, so,
on the deck.
yeah, so if you imagine a beached ship, they were literally on the deck.
Would they have seen me jumping and teleporting around?
Yeah, you've probably seen, like...
Okay, and it's quite clear who the aggressor and the target is, yes?
I would say so, yeah. You run up and you can see your 2 colleagues facing off against an injured-looking foe.
Oh, cool. In that case, from about, 100 feet away, something like that, I'm gonna go ahead and fire an... Let me just check. Is it rolled a hit? Yep. I'm gonna go ahead and roll an Eldritch Blast.
Ooh.
Which I have because reasons of magical items.
Nice.
Oh, 19 with a plus 13 to hit. That probably hits.
Yeah, that hits.
Cool. And again, because reasons, I have 3d10 plus a d8 because it is my Eldritch firearm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, ooh, okay. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 points of force Eldritch damage, please.
Okay.
This is why we have a meme when Evie starts counting. It never ends up well for them.
All right. So how do you do this? How do you kill this guy? You just assess you're the bad one. Oof.
Yep, I literally just crouch down like, all right, I see what's going on. Just kind of twirl the cylinder, take aim. All right, I can do this in one. And just kind of try and get him between the eyes with three of the shots.
Okay. What does your Eldritch Blast look like?
It starts out green when it's in the cylinder, but as it kind of warms up, it goes into the signature pink color as it hurtles through the air. So it's kind of like a firework, the ones that start out one color and end up the other.
Lovely. And yeah, you blast and you almost kind of with the force of it flay the remaining tattoos off of the this man's bald head.
I'm
You-
looking down the end of the arrow of my bow, ready to fire the next shot, and as he just dies, I'm like, huh? Who stole my kill?
You're welcome.
I've got my hand in front of him. I was more melting. More melting. I was going to steal his hit points.
So that is the 3 bodyguards down. You feel almost like you can relax, but there's something just at the back of your mind, just sends a trickle of fear running down. You notice that the fog is particularly dense around this area, much denser than it was previously on the ship. And then as you look at it, you swear you could see a humanoid shape, a humongous humanoid shape, as a skeletal giant, for a flicker, just appears out of the fog. But that is a combat for next time.
Oh no.
Oh.
So, thank you everyone for joining us for tonight's very politically and I guess stealthily reconnaissance mission type show. If you enjoyed it, we play every Monday and Tuesday from 6 p.m. UK time. All of our shows are streamed at twitch.tv/rolltogetherrpg, and you can find all of our content archived at youtube.com/rolltogetherrpg. There are also podcast versions of all of our shows available everywhere. Just search for Roll Together RPG. A massive thank you to our D20 Club on Patreon. There will be a link in chat now, so please do join, as every penny helps us to make all of the content that we do. Big thank you again to our sponsors and supporters, and don't forget, we are all over social media as Roll Together RPG. Thank you for watching, and we will see you very soon.